Members of the public may wish to note that in continuance of regular monthly arrangements previously in train, the first such scheduled flight for 2025 has arrived in Kingston.
Welcome back to another video, wherever in the Caribbean or in the diaspora you're watching this video from. So last night I got some news that Jamaica received its first set of deportees yesterday. That is 52 Jamaicans were deported back to Jamaica yesterday. And apparently the plane, it was like a plane full of people being deported within the Caribbean. And apparently the plane went to 4 Caribbean countries. But I've only heard about Jamaica so far. So I'm listening now to see where the other countries, which other countries in the Caribbean receive people yesterday. So I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about Mia Mottley welcoming home people that are going to be people from Barbados that are going to be deported, and she's asking the American government to treat the citizens of Barbados like human. Do not treat them inhumane. So this is what I want to talk about today. So let's talk about it. Yes, so as I said, yesterday I got some information that 52 Jamaicans were deported back to Jamaica, and I also have a clip to show you from the Foreign Affairs Office talking about the 52 Jamaicans that were returned to Jamaica. And it is pretty much what I said in my last video, that the 5,120 Jamaicans, they're not in custody. A lot of them are just on the list and awaiting whatever process they are going through. And it doesn't mean that everyone on that list is going to be deported back to Jamaica. People might still have a chance to be able to, with their lawyer, to work out something to stay in America. So this is from the Foreign Affairs Office. The video, the quality is a bit, the sound quality is a bit low, but just listen and let me know what you think.
Of that 5,120. Many of these persons are not detained, and there's a whole process to go to detention, to be detained, and then to be deported or repatriated. Many persons, and it's very important for us to realize that many persons who are going back home are really situations of overstay, is immigration offenses. And I'll give, for example, today, as is normal, whenever we get to maybe over 20 persons, the U.S. will have a flight that repatriates persons back to their countries, and they go to about 3 countries in the Caribbean or 4. And for Jamaica, when they stopped today, they had, I think, 56 persons on the flight for Jamaica. Of that number, there were 4 persons who had served time for murder. Most of the others, it was immigration offenses. 3 persons were taken into custody for further investigation. So because of the screening process that happens when you go to Jamaica. So the sort of panic and labeling of Jamaicans who are going home, I want us to really not do that, because if you have committed an offense here in the U.S. by overstaying your visa or working, and the process has been put in place where you have committed an offense here and you're repatriated to Jamaica. Doesn't mean that you're a criminal in Jamaica, and we label people deportees and stop them from being able to have a good life being back in their country and back in their homes. It is a problem. So I really want us to give thought as to how we are creating the sense of panic. And I want tonight, I hope the members of the media are here and feel very free to ask questions, because the statistics are not really in keeping with the panic that is going on. And we must make it very clear that every Jamaican is going to be welcomed home when for whatever reason they have to return. And a number of Jamaicans now that are here and have overstayed their visas, for example, are calling to say, how can I get back home without going through a system of detention and having, issues with their reputation, and we're assisting them. Many persons who have gone through this route and at some point later want to appeal to come back to the U.S. We have also assisted with that. There are lawyers and there are processes to help people. So it is important that we don't get too caught up in the hype and get distracted from a system that is working and has been working for maybe the last 30 years. There's nothing new going on. The Trump-Vance administration, they did come in with a mandate to secure their border and to increase the enforcement of immigration procedures. And it's their right to do so, just like Jamaica will do so whenever we have persons who are not in Jamaica legally. So there's no judgment. What we have is cooperation, and in Jamaica we are making sure that we do the proper verification and the proper screening and then proper reintegration of our citizens.
Okay, so that was from the Foreign Affairs Office, just to let Jamaicans know that 52 people were deported back to Jamaica, and just to give Jamaicans some information that, look, like these people, a lot of these people are pretty much people that overstayed their visa, and they're not all criminal. As when you see in the media, you would think everyone that's being deported are deported for like serious crimes. But as you can see, she break it down that of the 52 that was deported back to Jamaica yesterday, like 4 of them were pretty much serious crime, but the others were pretty much overstaying their visa. And that is a process that millions of people overstay their visa on a yearly basis in America. So this is nothing new. And she's urging like Jamaicans like to not look at them as criminals. The Jamaicans that are being repatriated or deported back to Jamaica, don't see them as criminals, because over the years we have developed this thing where when you hear deportee, automatically you think like criminal, but it's not the case. A lot of people just go there for work, and sometimes they're whether student visa or work visa expire, and they just don't want to go back to Jamaica and they overstay. So that was from the Foreign Affairs Office, just to update that 52 Jamaicans arrived back in the island yesterday, and it would be interesting to find out the other 3 islands that the plane went to. But I've been doing some research, and I've not yet discovered which other Caribbean island received immigrants yesterday. So that is it. Sound off in the comment section and let me know what you think. And as she stated in her presentation also, like, this is an ongoing thing. This is not just because of Donald Trump presidency, and this is not necessarily a part of what Donald Trump is doing with ICE. This is an ongoing thing that they receive Jamaicans that are deported like pretty much on a monthly basis. And sometimes it's like a plane full of people. Sometimes it's probably 1 or 2 people getting deported. So sound off and let me know what you think about this first deportation back to Jamaica. Yes, so the next thing I want to talk about is the Jamaican government, in particular the Foreign Affairs Minister. So yesterday also the Foreign Affairs Minister came out with a statement, and the statement reads that the Jamaican government say it's rigorously assessing the risk associated with the deportation of criminals to Jamaica from the United States of America. So some Jamaicans on social media, they're not receiving that statement very well, because people are saying that statement is pretty much playing into Donald Trump's hand and what they are doing with this deportation. Because when the Minister of Foreign Affairs comes out and says something like that about criminals coming back to Jamaica and the government is assessing what they're going to do, it's pretty much playing into Donald Trump's narrative about criminals in coming to America and doing all the stuff that Donald Trump claimed that these immigrants are doing. And with a statement like that, Americans are going to be looking at us and say, so like, why are you upset with Donald Trump if now you are saying that to take back your own people, the government have to assess to see how they can manage these criminals. So to me, that was like a missed opportunity. I think a better statement would have said, as Jamaicans, we welcome our Jamaican people and we want to get them back, to have them, to help them to settle back into the country, the land of their birth. Something like that, but not, criminal and assessing and aggressively assessing, that just sound, as I said, playing right into Donald Trump's hand that all the people that are being deported are criminal. So guys, sound off and let me know what you think about that statement. Do you think that statement was pretty much playing into what Donald Trump is saying about all the immigrants, that people are just criminals and not necessarily people that overstay their visa or whatever? Sound off and let me know what you thought about that statement. So for the final story, now we're going to Barbados. So the Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mia Mottley, she released a statement on Instagram yesterday talking about this whole deportation and our expectations. So let's take a look to hear what the Prime Minister of Barbados have to say.
Recognize that each country has the right to pursue its own policies and to protect its own laws. Whether we like the way in which it is being done or not is a different story, but you have to respect the fact that a sovereign country can do what it needs to do to protect its own laws. I do hope that there will be conversations that will allow countries who are receiving the time to be able to ensure that we can do this in a dignified way. And I certainly have asked my Ministry of Foreign Affairs to coordinate to see what they can do to ensure that any sending back of persons will be done in a dignified way. I can only tell you that I have not seen anything officially yet, but I, like the rest of the world, have seen some numbers, and I will wait to see anything that is official.
In terms of the foreign aid, I know for Trinidad, their defense force and police would have been affected as a result of the...
I don't want us to overreact. President Trump is now coming. He says that he wants the time, 90 days to review. I think that you just have to wait. I mean, it will be inconvenient to some projects, but we have to wait and see. I don't believe in jumping in and prejudging things before things are allowed to happen.
Yes, so that was the Prime Minister of Barbados pretty much appeasing to the American government to, when they're deporting people back to Barbados, to not do it in an inhumane way, to send them back in a way that it's not looking like they're like criminals. So that was Mia Mottley and her concern about what is going on in America. And as stated, she said that, America is a sovereign nation. They have a right to secure their border, to do what they're doing now. But she just hoped that when people are being sent back to Barbados, that they're not sent back pretty much like animals. So guys, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think about these stories. And as I said, I'll be following up to see where in the Caribbean are the other people that were deported. What island were they deported to? So sound off in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.